Alright, hello guys. We're gonna start this match review between Straw versus FrozenRift. So let's go into the game 1 here. So right now we have just 2 matches where we can review. We have 2 other matches, but the games are not on any of their hero cards. So for now, let's see what happens here between Straw and FrozenRift. Here Straw gets Landius banned, first picks Juggler. FrozenRift gets Zerda banned and first picks Landius. Okay. Alright, we see some bans here, similar bans. Zerda and Listel.
Okay, you're doing my game first?
Yep. Okay, so Straw, looks like you really like the Rachel second, so just pick up Rachel. Next, double healer bans. And then you first ban one of the healers over here, so FrozenRift have 4 healers, so the Liana ban not going to force FrozenRift to pick up a game, pick up a healer just quite yet. And then we have a Yulia third pickup. Yep, we see this often by you, where you just pick up no healers instead of going for like Juggler, Rachel, Yulia, plus one of the other Chris or something for all the dispels, all the in-combat heals. I quite like those, just because you can do damage, pressure your opponent while also healing up your team. Okay, and they forced... Nope, not a forced healer pickup, just picking up TRS. This thing, Sakura, is decent, but then there is a lot of dispel from Rachel, a gospel from Rachel. Chris can dispel a whole lot, so Sakura is unfortunately not that strong right now. Yes, this thing. Just forgot her name for a second. Okay.
You just made a video.
Sakura, that thing. Okay, let's see here. Faith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No faction buff, but taking sleep. Sleep is really strong, especially for like tank pushing. Here we have Master of Ice, double guard, mass attack, redemption, and dispel. So the dispel is going to basically ruin Sakura, Hyakaroran. And let's see, Gospel.
But this game, you'll see, but that Sakura is gonna do a lot here that I did not expect.
Okay, we'll see. Let's see, Sakura with, yep, 3 Seagulls, teleport, mass resist. The mass resist is good against the stun from Bozo. And then no attack blessing here. Probably don't need it, but then the Rachel can kind of use one just to kill the juggler in one shot. Instead of just going for more mass heals. Okay. Yep, Gospel the juggler. Although I don't think the Gospel is really needed when there's a Chris on the team. I would actually put the Gospel on Rachel.
Well, the
so
problem
in case...
is the initial...
Okay. So
initial is gonna hit Juggler, and he's gonna deal damage to your team.
Yeah, that's fine, but if you put it on Rachel and she becomes immune, you can use Rachel to attack somebody, heal up the whole team, while also dispelling everything, right? Now there are 3 debuffs from the Sakura AoE, so you can only get rid of 2 of them, but I think it's good enough. Alright, moving here with an earthquake. The juggler here is set up to guard. Yep, Iris is silenced. The Rachel already moved, so it's up to Tiaras to dispel for this turn. Alright, and Rachel's Gospel. Now everything's moving forward while FrozenRift retreats. I don't know about retreating that far here. Like, the middle, all of these defensive terrain are just like given up for free. Alright, second AoE here, Black Hole, Clocks. Rachel here is still immune, but she can probably attack into it. Now, if she had an attack blessing, that would have been really good against a Bozo that does not have a faction buff. Sakura here can't really make an attack, being silenced. And yeah, she doesn't have her own faction buff or any sort of attack buffs here. Attack is quite low. And the two healers are heal blocked and they have like 5 debuffs each, 4 here. So they can't really dispel all that well. It's up to Rachel to do this. Ooh, this Godly Menace at the edge here, that can be pretty deadly. If none of these units can move next turn, they can just die to the fog. Let's see, Sakura can't move, Rachel can't move. If this Yulia cannot be dealt with, and it doesn't seem like there's really much answers to this Yulia for this turn. If Yulia gets hit by Sakura here, the Rachel can come in here and dispel. And you have to deal with this Yulia at this edge, otherwise 2 units are gonna die to the fog. Okay, just trading AoEs here. I didn't realize this juggler had so much move here. But now... Okay, so the Gospel falls off. They can deal with this Yulia now. Rachel just dies. Yulia also just dies. Wow, that's some damage. So, Rachel just dies. It's all thanks to these random buffs from everywhere, I guess. The Sakura ended up getting 20% attack buff. And then kills off Rachel from the initial hit. Yulia dies from the heal from Juggler. And now we have a Dispel, but after 2 units dead. Oh, Landius just dies in the fog. And a big black hole here that kills off a whole bunch of guys. Alright, let's go back here. Let's see what happened. The Landius got hit with Master Vice, so they can't move all that far. So Landius just dies in the fog. He lost his first life to Yulia, I think. And then these 2 units, the 2 healers, are quite low from all the AoEs. I think that's just from 1 Arcane Blast from Rachel. And then dies to the Bozo Black Hole. They were also hit with heal block for a while there. So that's pretty good. Scythe to heal up. If that triggered Thorns, this Rachel would have been dead. Okay, moving here to block. Stakra can still get out. Another big AoE here. Another clock. Alright, so Chris can deal with all these clock AoEs. Another one? I think this one is a bit early. Another clock? Okay. Yep, this is a very good play. You just sleeve them in the fog, they die. But now this Chris, yep, can kill you or can dispel this turn. You had to deal with that Bozo somehow. That sleep is just gonna kill you here. Alright, let's move on to game 2. First ban Zarda here. Is Zarda first ban even good here? I don't know. There's 4 healers, 2 tanks. And looks like FrozenRift here chose Plains of Strife as player 1 here. It is a pretty good map for Zarda, first pick. So we see Landia's Rachel. Not banning Zarda here, instead of getting rid of Hie. I would have banned Zarda with Lestel instead of Hie, because if you want to run Hie with a faction buff, you have to bring some sort of attack buff or faction buff from Juggler, but now the Juggler receives a meteor faction buff from Zarda, which is really good. Now the Juggler is free to run a very good number of offensive spells, like Master Vice, or you can run Beast Rock. Whereas before, he would have to bring faction buff, and maybe not bring the magic guard or something. Okay, so 2 healer bands, and Joshua pick 3rd. Joshua pick here, from these options, I don't know about that either. You're picking Joshua into Zarda. Now, it's okay if you're going to hit this Zarda first with one of the AoEs like Dark Demise, but this map is not the best for Joshua. There's very little defensive terrain to ninjutsu on, and they're not good. The 2 trees. So his damage from AoEs is not going to be at his maximum. Instead, I would probably pick up something like Hie here to snipe the Zarda with. You can get a Gospel from Rachel. Run in, just trade with somebody. Because this Zarda exists, you can't really pick like squishy carries all that well. You have to make sure whatever you pick that carries the game can survive. So like Bozo can die to Zarda, or you can use your carry as Sakura. Sakura can deal very well with Juggler, against Juggler. But if any one of these units gets sniped by Zarda, and you don't have anyone else that can deal with the rest of the team, then you're going to struggle there. Okay, we have a 4th pick Juggler. Juggler's okay, but not when it's facing a Yulia here. So I'm not sure how this Yulia got through these bans and picks. Should have let them have this Luna, I guess. But Luna goes pretty well with Zerda. Then again, it's like, who's going to deal with this Yulia? Now there's a lot of support. Zerda can snipe anyone that they can find. This Juggler can protect the Yulia very well. Last pick healer there. And we have a Angelina. So alternate can move up either Zerda or Yulia very well. There's also Iris teleport. Okay. Guard infantry, they're kind of bad against unicorns. I would just use any regular assassin troop. Anyways, we have 2 AoEs plus the faction buff. Double guard, beast shock, meditation, reaper, and runic void. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of dispels here. So the runic void choice is pretty good. Juggler and Yulia should both be immune to fixed damage. The rest should be not fixed immune. I have a Gospel here. Gospel is not doing anything. So you could have not brought this faction buff. Just use Gospel. I mean, the Gospel could just be put on Juggler for some defense buffs. That's about it. Okay, over here, Holy Justice kills the Juggler. Attack command, alternate. Backstab. And Master of Ice. I don't know about the Master of Ice choice here, but you're up against 2 tanks. It's not like Beast Shock is gonna do a whole lot either. Maybe Beast Shock can do some one-shots here. If you get a King's Crown from Angelina, use the Meteor faction buff 10% more, and Beast Shock can do pretty good damage. So really, I don't think there's much that FrozenRift can do against the Yulia here. Strau will have to misplay really hard to lose the Yulia. And then this Zerda can look to just snipe off either Joshua or Rachel. And then Yulia can pretty much handle the rest. That's pretty good damage. That dealt 7k-ish. Now she gets healed up. But now you don't really have a way to finish that off. Okay, use Act again. Yulia can run away. This can be pretty good. The Runic Void might just be able to finish it off, unless you get stabbed here. Backstab doesn't trigger, but it does kill off the Rachel, so the Yulia is saved. And both AoEs used on Joshua. Yep, so this game looking pretty over here. Joshua can't kill off Yulia by himself anymore. The again is used. The tag, not sure what it's for, but it dealt no damage to the juggler. Breaks the last right, I guess. Yeah, so that might have been a full power Beast Rock, but this juggler does not have any damage dealt increase, and it's also hitting a opponent's juggler that is still in water. So normally you can expect to one-shot a juggler that is not in water or might have their rights, and probably needs to have their rights broken as well as being not in water. But now you don't have any percent damage dealt, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, so this is 20% defense with full buffs. Now if you had some sort of attack blessing or 20% damage dealt, still iffy. So the thing with the Beast Shock is you have a very high attack, but you need the percent damage dealt to make the kills. So Juggler dies there, and now there's really nothing that can kill either the Juggler or Yulia. So that's game 2 as well. Straw wins the match 2-0. Alright, let's go into the next match. We have Zycro versus AVacuumCleaner. Okay. This seems to be game 1. Alright. We have a first band Omega. Zycro probably have done some of his homework, seeing it's this map, and it's Omega that can possibly have Leviathans. So just be safe, ban Omega on this map. He gets the Landius band. I think it's pretty good. Here we have a Mystery Knight, as well as Weiler is also on faction, but there is no Rachel. Interesting. Instead, there are quite a few time units. Here, Leonhard, the 2 time buffers, and 3 healers, 4 healers. Okay. So, 2 tank bands, followed by a Zera the first pick, a Luna second pick. So Vacuum still have another tank in Emilia. I would probably go ban the Emilia instead of these two. Just because you can pick up units that can now ignore guard, since there's no tanks left anymore. So use case pretty good. Luna's pretty good. Luna is already going to have a faction buffer here, so you can run her with skill. And Hiei can be good. You can also run Hiei with the faction buff from Juggler. Even Leonhard can be okay, but I would pick up like one of these units, or like a Zerda. Instead, Zycro just plays safe, picks up a healer here. Now against single target attackers, I will definitely pick up Weiler over Tiaras here. So in case this Zerda is running backstab, you can make sure the backstab does nothing with Weiler 3C. When Luna attacks, you can always heal up to full before combat. Now there's tank pickup. Luna can faction buffer the tank. Now we see the Huey pickup. Healer here. And a Joshua here. So Joshua can faction buffer Huey. And another Princess unit in Shalfaniel. And last pick, Mystery Knight. Okay, might as well take a look at the skills here. So Princess buff from Luna. And we have 3 AoEs on Shalfaniel. Zerda is not using backstab. They will have to be really confident to not run backstab. So he is running backstab here, Sword of the Darkness Flame, ignore guard. And no faction buff on Juggler, running Beast Rock instead. A mass heal here, attack blessing, regular heal. So the Knight of Mystery is not going to have a attack buff. Alright, I think this is turn 1 Wind God Realm used. Now Zycro can just move away, and we have teleport Zerda. Now Zerda can pick target and kill them. Run back 3. Can't make use of this Luna Aura, unfortunately, since everything here is just way out of range. So Zerda attack into the Tiaras and gets a kill. She can't run quite far enough back into the Luna Aura, so running back only 3 steps instead of 5. Yeah, so what I would have done differently would be to push the Emilia forward. I think he did use guard turn 1, but you can push the Luna even further up, just so when you go in with Zerda, she have a better chance of running back. Or if you want to play even more safe, you can always wait and do this turn 2. So a bunch of AoEs here gets dropped. The healer gets sniped on turn 1, the Mystery Knight went in for the trade and cannot heal up back up anymore. This juggler should be pushing forward just to take some hits, soak some AoEs, and possibly heal up the team. Now he goes in and trades for the Luna. It's not a trade when there's an Iris moving last year. So now the Hiei can move first. Well, this Mr. Knight is not running back out. I'm not sure why use the AoEs first, because the Hiei can... the Hiei did not bring the other skill that reverses heal, so if he had it, could drop that first, attack the Emilia a whole bunch. Instead, you're forced to just pop your AoEs here. and he gets demolished. Yeah, Juggler is way too far back here. He should have been out there soaking magic damage, or just soaking any damage, and using the Beast Rock. Could have gone in at Beast Rock, this Emilia, block the guard, and then try to snipe the Shelfaniel in any way you can. And now Shelfaniel kills everyone. So the Juggler here, not used at all. He took no damage until the very end. So not really a tank in this game. He was just there, not doing anything. Okay, game 1 won by AVacuumCleaner. Game 2, Zycro chooses Windy Outpost, that's player 1. This is the Illustrio's favorite map. There's so much defensive terrain in the middle, but instead there's no Illustrio on both sides. We might see a Joshua pickup here, since that's Joshua's favorite map as well. You can run ninjutsu and take control of the middle. Instead we have a first or second pick Leonhardt, first pick Omega. Iris going with Omega. So this Omega is looking to get kills and run back. It's pretty good here, just because you can make an Omega ignore the defensive terrain in the middle and run wherever he pleases. Okay, so another healer here. Having attack blessing on Omega is pretty good. Now he can really one-shot anyone. I think he can already pretty much one-shot a lot of units. And here finally gets the Yulia banned. If this Yulia was not banned, it would have been pretty hard to deal with. And we have a Luna here, so Juggler should be bringing faction buff, or probably Luna and Leonhardt, or you can also just not bring that and go Princess faction buff on Yusuke for Leonhardt. That can possibly work as well. And then bring a summon Sky Archers. Block off some of the places where Omega can attack them, and then just kill these Sky Archers for Yusuke when you need to. Over here, the Omega is going to do everything from Iris support, Tiara support, a tank, and attack buff from Rachel. Alright, so the Luna did bring the Princess buff. Here we have Act Again Prayer and Summon Sky Archers. Interesting choices. Okay. Air Slash. So the Leonhardt might go for the Juggler. We have a Beast Rock here. And no Magic Guard over here. Gospel, Runic Void. Runic Void against Liana. I wouldn't bring Runic Void. A single target skill, or yeah, I will bring a single target skill here. Or maybe even two. Ooh, the skill is really low. So this Juggler is going to get tripled by the Omega. The Omega does not have Knowing Strike, Actually, everything is pretty low skill. Yusuke is going to get doubled. Luna is going to get doubled here. Liana's tripled. And the only one that can survive Omega is Leonhardt. But there's an attack blessing, so you can say goodbye to whatever that Omega hits. Yep, Gospel, attack blessing. Ooh, even breeds. Okay, we don't even need the teleport. Or you can still teleport for guaranteed kills. Yep, attack blessing. Summon the Sky Archers to block, but then you can teleport to ignore all the terrain. Oh, it's not even blocking the middle. Okay, now there's definitely like nothing that can stop this Omega now. But this is quite unfortunate for Zycro, since this Omega did receive a +3 mobility, so he have the damage to kill really anyone. And hits the juggler here. Yep, and that's a kill. Goes back. And let's see here. Now if juggler does get the water dispelled, the juggler could die. Pretty good damage. Sword Breath crits. And dispels the water. Okay, juggler should be dead here. Omega lost some buffs here, but still kept the attack buff, the attack blessing, and this Iris damage dealt +20. Alright, juggler goes down, and Omega can pick up any target, either Yusuke or Luna. Goes for the triple on Luna. That is very dead. I would have gone for probably the Yusuke though. Just because you have all the attack buffs here. Yusuke runs in with breeds, but not standing on any defensive terrain just yet. We have a Runic Void. Damage is pretty good. And punches the Omega. I don't know about punching Omega instead of the Rachel. From the looks of that, the Rachel should do more damage to this Yusuke. Just because you have higher defense. This Rachel is pretty strong. 1300 attack, int. Yeah, I would definitely get rid of the Rachel. This is much more threatening. But Rachel goes down anyways. Yeah, if you can punch both of them, that makes sense. And game 2 won by Zycro here. And 2 healers left, so yep, that's game 2. Now we have game 3, first band Omega. First pick Zarda again. First pick Juggler here. Two Assassin's Bands. Zard and Luna's a pretty good combo. Yusuke second. Two Healer Bands. That's a third pick Landius. It's quite late. Not sure why not ban the tanks earlier. Like, one of the tank bans here, and here you could double ban the other two tanks, instead of going for a cherry ban here, instead of the third tank. Now it forces the Yusuke to punch into a tank. And Yusuke don't want to be punching tanks. Now imagine this Landius being a cherry instead. Yusuke can go in, punch it. One shot. So how Zycro won game 2 was just because the Omega died. That's it. That's the whole game plan there. Not killing the Yusuke there. Instead of like getting rid of Luna, if you got rid of Yusuke from the one shot, Luna is not going to one shot the Omega. Okay, here we have another time unit, Joshua, so now either one of them can bring a faction buff. And another Mystery Knight that does not have a faction buff. So the final teams, I don't see a healer over here, so this Rachel going to be the only healer. She have to hit something with either Runic Void or Reaper, or just a regular attack. Claret is going to have a faction buff from Landius, running Holy Pegasus, which is pretty good. Now if Claret hits anyone except the Juggler, they're definitely dead. Attacking the Juggler though, with Holy Pegasus, the Juggler really needs to be out of water for the kill. Luna here, not bringing faction buff for herself, instead going for a Raging Thunder. I think the attack damage dealt from like a non-faction buff Luna with Raging Thunder and a no skill faction buff Luna is about the same. So in that regards, I will probably just take a faction buff over a skill here, because she's losing a lot of magic defense without the Princess faction buff. Here we have Obliterate, now Hazard, and Killing Blow. She's going to take 2 turns to set up. The faction buff comes from this Joshua. Yusuke have 100 strike punches. And no faction buff for this Juggler again, not even a shield. Actually, maybe you want to take a shield here instead of mass heal, but then again you're going to deal with possible AoEs from Rachel, so maybe. Here going for Thunder Zone and Forget, so no single target attack skills. So okay. Rachel's better healing area of effect though. Alright, first turn transform. Breeze. Also first turn Triton. And attack blessing. Does this have teddy bear? Nope, no teddy bear. So everything is used on Zycro side. If you're vacuum here, you can basically just wait 2 turns, wait for water to drop, wait for transform to end, wait for this attack blessing to end, and then you can go in. Our hazards here, it can threaten, take control of the middle here. Alright, the second buff from Juggler. Instead of waiting, Vacuum moves closer to the middle. Ooh, there's a breeze on the Juggler. That's a fully buffed Juggler. Well, by fully I mean missing the faction buffs. And Luna pops the Wingguard Realm, just not waiting at all. Planning to go in here. Really planning to go in there. Okay. Gets hit by Forget, runs out. So the Landius can possibly get one-shotted now. Yeah, it's definitely gonna get one-shotted from this Juggler, Yusuke. Either Spirit Gun in melee range or 100 Punch in melee range is gonna guarantee the kill here. Although you kind of want a unit beside the Yusuke, just to receive the talent here, 15% attack and defense. You can also throw a unit just to buff up the Yusuke even more, with this +1 mobility range and all these good stuff. The Joshua here hits the Luna. The only dispellable buff on Luna is this Wingguard Realm, so it just gets dispelled. Yeah, the Rachel could have brought Crystal Warlocks just to move along with these Luna Warlock. Similarly, Cleric could also gone for Heaven's Guard to move with this Luna Aura, but then you're not going to bring any other buffs, and it just gets dispelled by Joshua because that's the only dispellable buff. Yeah. Okay. Runic Void gets dropped. Damage is pretty good, although some of it gets healed back up. And mass heal here, so everything is good now. Everyone's standing within the Great Dragon Barrier, so they don't take any fixed damage. So the use was kind of early, but then you're also healing up Luna, so I suppose Mystery Knight goes in with this Thunder Zone. Can now go back out with the use of Backtrack. Now, Rachel gets hit, 300 health. That's the only healer here, other than Zerda healing. So Mr. Knight goes down to the big skill. I think he could have just used Roar instead of using the Lightning Flash. Should have been lethal. Also, I would have the Meteor buff instead of Landius buff here. Landius goes down from the Beast Shock, full powered. Yeah, so the Zerda is moving last, just to zone, but then he is forced to move before this Yusuke. So if you move this Claret second, you could have hit any one of these unguarded units afterwards. Yeah, if you move the Zerda here, attack Mystery Knight, they would have to move the Yusuke here, punch, Landius. The Forget on Landius got dispelled, so Landius would revive once. right now on Zycro side. Yep, goes in for this Beast Rock, and then Yusuke can follow up. If this Juggler trigger Thorns, I think Zerda probably be dead. But Juggler survives. And now Yusuke moves in. Attack Blessing, 100 punches. The Landius is very dead. And both trades here from, I think, Thorns. Yep, now the match is favoring Zycro here. Kills the Zerda here. Now the thing with the 100 punches is it reduces all damage received by 40%. Now add this onto your last rights, and add that onto your high defense. On top of that, you're countering at a range of 2, makes Yusuke pretty much unkillable, as long as the 100 punches is up. So, not many know about it, I guess. They don't read the skills. But when people attack into Yusuke with 100 punches buff, they get surprised and they die while trying to kill Yusuke. So at the end here, the only unit left up is Luna versus the Yusuke. That's not gonna work. And Zycro wins 2-1. Okay, so I think that's the only 2 matches we have here. I can check the others and see if they have added up their matches. So one would be Leumas versus Ceui. Okay, so we can do this. Match 1, match 2. Okay, let's take a look at the boxes here. Ceui here. Pretty standard. First ban Landius. And over here, looks pretty standard. There are some differences here, like a Leon Hart, and a Joshua over this side, and a Mega. Yep, only differences there. Okay, so Landius first bans, both sides. I don't think either one is going to worry about it that much. This map is pretty good for Juggler as long as you just stay in the swamps. So single healer ban versus double healer ban. So he picks up Liana, and Leumas not even going for a healer, just picking up Zerda second. Now we have Listel. Yeah, Listel's pretty good here. Similarly, you could have also chosen to pick a man differently. You can look to pick up Yulia, having the Gospel from Liana already. And then you could have banned differently here. So you can ban, I would say, Bozo, or like Listel here. But you don't really need to, considering you already have Liana. Instead, this Listel might be the one doing all the carrying. And there's a Omega, 4th pick. Omega, even without buffs, running Leviathans is pretty good on this map. And finally the Weiler healer pick, 4th. That's very generous of Ceui to let Leumas have a healer after all that. And then a Bozo pick, can faction buff for Zarda if needed. Alright, this Lestel, very, very high defense. 842 unbuffed. With Tree of Life, so, okay. Yep, Leviathans, very high health here. It's not in water yet, I think. Nope, it's already in water. Can't tell if this is maxed or not. I was kind of expecting more attack here. Yep, Gospel. Versus Bozo, you can also not take the act again. You can just go for Summon Sky Archers. And this Knight of Mystery does not have a faction buff, so brought the Gospel here. Oh, no attack buffs here. Faction buffing just for himself. Over here we have Gospel, Reaper, Blast. Yep, Alhazard with Killing Blow, faction buff, Black Hole and Sleep. And the 3C Tactical Retreat and Regroup. Moving Juggler first. Moving the full 5 squares with Mr. Knight for the talent. Faction buff for Zarda. Gospel onto Juggler against the Finger from Lestel. So Omega moves forward. The range. Just barely out of range. Zarda here procs a breeze. So with Killing Blow and with this use of Regroup, can just take out anyone. Maybe not the Lestel, but I think it can kill the Lestel. The Knight of Mystery or this Omega is definitely dead to the Alhazard Zarda here. Okay, Gospel goes to Mr. Knight, as expected. Ooh. Gets a +3 mobility onto Omega, so yep, have to use this. And I think this Omega have to die here. Gets the kill here. And let's see what gets the trade. So Mystery Knight can do the trade. Blood Dance is not quite enough to kill. Runs forward with a Broken Spear, gets the kill, runs back. This is a 5 stars. Needs to move 25 in total, but he's getting there. Alright, now the Juggler is double buffed. Defensive buff. It's pretty scary looking right now. Okay, everyone's just moving around. Breeze onto Bozo. Alright, so the Bozo can threaten to sleep or black hole. Ceui just move back, so conceding map control. Run around some more. Goes in for this black hole, hit on 3. Yeah, here the Simmons Sky Archers would have helped a lot in dispelling this whole team. This is still just moving way forward using a Blood Dance. Doing this definitely kills you, not that it did really any damage, because the Juggler is on this Great Dragon Barrier, so not taking any fixed damage. Bozo is on Bracer, but it's also in the Great Dragon Barrier aura. Rachel not taking any damage from Meditation Ring. Gets hit with a Beast Rock, so Listel really didn't do anything here. Listel could have been saved in the back, use some fingers on the Juggler, drop some other annoying AoEs, and use it in like combination with this Knight of Mystery to kill this Juggler. It shouldn't be going in there to like Suicide Bomb with Blood Dance. She only had 11k health, so it's not going to kill off anyone here anyways. Juggler gets leaped here. Everything's looking quite safe in the back. This Knight of Mystery, kind of far to engage. Cannot kill off the Bozo here. Okay, so the AoE just got refreshed. The Mystery Knight can drop another Thunder Zone here. Rachel here heals up the team. This still kills the Wyler. And Leumas takes game 1. Okay, let's go to game 2. Alright, Ceui chooses this map, or probably chooses this map, and chooses to go first. First ban, that's Zerda. Landius, Zerda, and Luna bans here. And first pick Landius over here. Double ban healers again. Second picks Listel. Defense is really good. And a counter Listel. So this Listel a lot better with Landius faction buff versus Juggler. This Listel versus no Juggler. Again, this is good against Wyler here, just because if this Wyler uses 3C, Listel can Fing Juggler and immediately kill this Wyler. Claret can be decent, but after getting all of those units banned, I guess this is the best remaining option here. You're still going to have quite a difficult time killing Landius, and especially versus Wyler here. Another legend unit in Rachel. Now this is a full legend team so far. Last pick a Joshua. Joshua can make use of the ninjutsu, so I would probably do something like mass attack on this Wyler, ninjutsu, and just try to snipe these mages, or try to snipe anyone with Joshua. Last pick Bozo. Okay, just to confirm, we have a faction buff on Joshua, just to strengthen, and the mass heal. So against Bozo, probably bring the spell versus Bozo, and instead of using high stakes here, I will just bring a mass heal plus the spell plus a mass attack. So Bozo is going to do a lot of AoE here. You're not going to need your 3C against Listel, and against Rachel, not all that much either. So I will just do like full AoE heal on Weiler and support. Okay, so breeze onto Landius, or breeze onto Lestel. This Lestel, 14k health. Defense is decent. Can't really compare to this, but it's decent. Just okay. Faction buff Landius. Strengthen buff on Claret. Now Claret is going to have a much more difficult time killing Landius just because Landius does not need to drop off water, and you definitely don't want to be doing this sort of attack when Weiler just used 3C. So the first attack is nowhere near killing because the Ragnarok, oh, it does hit Landius, he just gets healed back up to full. Landius is also taking 15% less damage, dealing 15% more. And after the first attack, you are going to need to like hit it twice. And since you're using Griffin Knights, the first attack just devastates Claret. Now she can't really attack into anyone else. So attack into this Rachel, probably it's not going to kill. You can kill the Weiler. Alright, so the anticipation from Ragnarok kills Weiler. That's the best trade this Claret can make, but it's not really worth it. There's still a Rachel that can heal up the team, and why play something like a Landius Rachel? I don't really need another healer as long as the Rachel is well supported and kept safe. There's also Gospel, you can protect her from Lestel. Now this Joshua, if played well, can do some good damage versus these squisher units. Still just going in with the Reaper onto the Struggler. There really isn't all that much follow-up here. Bozo is way too far. Still just use Finger, but she can't really do a whole lot to the Juggler here. Okay, that attack is pretty good. And here is a Reaper on Lestel. Kills the Lestel. Now this Joshua can AoE 3 units here. And everyone is immune to fixed damage. So that wasn't all that effective either. Yep, so Weiler is going to have a difficult time dropping this 3C, not like you really need it, just because everyone is going to use AoEs here. This Arcane Blast is not used yet, Bozo haven't used any AoEs yet, and Lestel still have Blood Dance and Mind Bore. Lestel just running in with Blood Dance. Minuscule amounts of damage, and dies here. So an Arcane Blast onto just the Juggler, but it's still fingered, so it's going to reflect some damage to the rest of the team. High Stakes is used here. I think that doesn't really do a whole lot, because the AoEs are still available here. Okay. Another Dark Mice, but Rachel's immune to the fixed damage. It actually just dies to one hit from this Landius. Yeah, this Landius 1700 attack looks like Full Moon to me. Very strong. And just absolutely obliterates this Joshua. And there's nothing left. The Weiler would die to the Bozo AoE, and the Juggler would just get chipped out eventually. So this match won by Leumas 2-0. Alright, so that's all we have for now. Thank you for tuning to the stream, and I'll see you guys next time.